Touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher. Bill, the Packer fan and Packer owner, Nick. They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now.
Two great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they came out. There's a couple guys that came out that Rodgers is telling
the solution of it, and don't let them go for anything under than one.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to Bill and Nick with their website and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and skip doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball all. He kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the ribs, and the ball was just jumping out of his hands.
Agreed. Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network with Bill the Packer fan and Packer owner Nick.
Frozen Tundra Network. What's up, everybody? Packers fans out there and everybody else watching. We do have a special guest that's going to be on the show, and we are waiting at the moment, kind of building that suspense, okay? So everybody stay tuned. His name is Michael Wyche. Used to be a defensive lineman, played for the Packers, played for the Miami Hurricanes, went to East Los Angeles College. This guy was a great player. He has a great story. Everybody stay tuned for that, and we'll get to it. But first, let's go ahead and get into some Packers news. So as you heard last time, we talked about Josh Jacobs. We talked about Xavier McKinney. We brought back Corey Ballantyne. We brought back A.J. Dillon. And if you saw the morning show today, well, Justin Fields got traded. So now it looks like it's the Caleb Williams era for these guys. How are you guys feeling about our team right now? I mean, what do you like about the re-signings and the signings that we made? And let's go ahead. Let's just start with Ken. Go for it.
With the re-signings there, I absolutely love that we're keeping some continuity along with bringing McKinney in. I think that we're going to go back to having our defensive backs be the strength of the team. And especially with the way that Halfley talks about how he likes to use the safety and middle linebacker, which I think for years in Green Bay hasn't even really been too much of a thought. And then to kind of slightly pivot, Campbell there, I can't freaking get his first name out.
Devondre Campbell.
Thank you. I was getting tongue twisted. Devondre Campbell, he had put out on Twitter because Packers fans were saying a bunch of stuff about the guy, like how can you bash the organization and that. And he came out and said that it's not the organization that he's bashing at all. He said that this was the best time he's had in his career was in Green Bay. It was some specific coaches that made his time there bad because of how they thought and how they did not listen to him. And then he even went on to further say about how bad Barry was and straight called him out by name. So,
yeah, I actually like that you brought that up because Devondre Campbell seemed to be very emotional with his release.
Yeah.
But in I did see that where Packers fans were like kind of criticizing him. They were like, why don't you just thank the organization? Because we gave you all this money. We gave you a chance when nobody really wanted you. And I get what you're saying. Like, he came out and kind of said, like, look, it's not, I love the fans. I loved being in Green Bay. It sucks that Barry ruined this situation so bad.
Mm-hmm. And with the way Devondre Campbell was talking, it was that Barry specifically was telling him to not be aggressive and to play back and to read the quarterback and to not get in on these routes. How in the hell does that sound like a good defensive scheme? How is any linebacker supposed to succeed, if I can get it out right, at running this defense if you got him sitting so far back and just, you keep your eyes just on that quarterback?
Yeah, so Speaking of bad defensive schemes, Rob, we literally watched in that Bucks game. I think that's what did it for me was the Bucks game. Devondre Campbell was on one of the fastest receivers, one of the better receivers in Chris Godwin, in the whole league. Every third down, what was it? 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11. It didn't matter. You had Devondre Campbell on a slot receiver. You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Rob.
I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I didn't understand Barry's scheme at the time. It made no sense. I mean, we've seen Preston Smith on Justin Jefferson. I mean, one of the fastest guys in the entire NFL, and it doesn't make any sense how you think this guy can cover that kind of position. You're asking too much of a guy. And honestly, they did well for what they could do, as far as how big they are, and they're to be asked to be put in that position. I mean, but I saw Preston Smith get burned on it. I saw Campbell get burned on it. Who else did I see?
Clay was also put in very bad positions too.
Yeah.
Said something about how bad a position Clay was put.
What about 3rd and 4? What about when it was 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, and our cornerbacks are 10, 15 yards back?
10 yards off. Yeah. I mean, you got a line, you got a spot to protect, you got a line to defend, and you have no chance to defend that if you're 10, 15 yards off the guy. Yeah. They simply take 3 steps, step to the line, and get the first down every time.
When you're watching the game, as we all do, you could literally sit there and watch how that was progressing, and you could just sit there and you just knew, like, immediately, like, dude, they're going to do a quick slant, they're going to do a quick pass, they're going to get the first down easily. It was mind-boggling to me, man. What do you think, Bill? I mean, aren't you just glad that we don't have to worry about the Barry BS anymore?
Actually, I wanted to go back and touch on what you were talking about first, and then I'll talk about that. Okay. Did you notice an interesting stat that came across today? Justin Fields has taken Mitchell Trubisky's job twice at 2 different organizations.
I didn't even think about that part. That's fucking great.
Yeah, so certain Bear fans know what we mean with that. You know what I'm saying? But,
what's up, Isaac?
As far as it goes, with Joe Barry, man, I'm just glad he's out of there. And I don't think a lot of it's his fault. I think our defensive scheme is just so old. It's so predictable. Everybody can read it, knows exactly what we're doing. That's why I think that we're switching to the 4-3 and getting away from the 3-4. Because now
at the same time, though,
you don't know what's coming, what's going.
Bill, at the same time, though, the 3-4 scheme is Barry's scheme. That's the only thing he does. He doesn't do 4-3 schemes. So with Halfley, look, I never once saw Joe Barry come out on the podium and go, you know what? We're just going to be aggressive. We're going to smash these dudes in the mouth. I've never seen it. I've never seen that once.
And I don't like that he sits in the booth either. That kind of bothers me.
Yeah. Well, I actually think that was because LaFleur started to take a lot of the play calling, and he was like, you know what? Sit your happy ass up there.
He was sitting in there.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't stand about Barry is when you get a play that was completely blown or that, and his most outstanding reaction would be, or where the hell is the passion of these guys apparently completely did not execute your perfect game plan? You should be a little more irate about that.
I'm a firm believer of coaching, and it leads the players. And when you see the players lazily tackling and missing stuff, I mean, the scheme totally wasn't out of play at some times. Those guys were there to make it, and they whiffed on the tackle. I mean, I watched Jair, our best player. He had week 1. He had Justin Fields dead to rights, whiffed on it. I mean, and Barry didn't do nothing to correct the bad tackling, and that's just on the coach, man. I mean, you should be whipping their ass at practice. You guys tackled like crap, and run them until they fucking puke, and or whatever you got to do to get them to learn that tackling is important. You play defense. That's like the half your job is to make sure you bring the guy down with the ball.
And this is what I like. This is what I like about Halfley so much. Like, John, don't like the things that you see in the press conferences and stuff, the interviews with Halfley. it almost seems like this dude's gonna break your knee with a baseball bat if you don't do the job right. Like this dude seems aggressive, and I love it.
Yeah, he is aggressive, and that's what I like about it too. It's not that bend don't break bullshit. I'm so glad we're gonna be away from that. You know, we're gonna be aggressive. We're gonna go after that quarterback. That's why it won't surprise me if we get another pass rusher. You know, we got what's his name, Akbari, whatever. He's hurt, so he won't see he's still over the season at the season.
And Akbari tore his ACL.
Yeah, so he's done for a while. So it won't surprise me if that first round pick we get another pass rusher. I mean.
We still got like Carl Brooks. We still got guys that
That's what I was about to say.
But we need depth too.
And not to mention, we have so many picks. I think that in our first 4 or 5 picks, it's going to be all defense except for maybe one running back.
It needs to be all defense.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And we still need, some line. We need to cover linebacker and stuff. We need someone to be able to run up and cover.
That's what I think it's going to happen before the draft. We're going to go get a safety. Or we're going to get a linebacker. A safety would be nice. This way you can just wipe safety pretty much off. We can get one in a later round maybe.
I would like a safety because Anthony Johnson Jr. I'm not sure is going to be the answer.
Yeah,
but I think he's good depth. He looked like he was pretty good depth during the season. So
imagine go get Simmons. Ooh.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Isaac. Take it over.
On the market, and that contract's going to be cheap.
Hey, come on, guys. Let's be real. The next 4 picks, the first 4 picks, we're all choosing quarterback. All right?
Yeah.
We're not the Bears.
No, we got to get a kicker. We need a kicker.
Yeah.
It feels so good to not have any quarterback drama, to not have to worry about who's going to stay on the team this year. We know where we're going. The direction is clear for Green Bay, right?
Nick, you don't want to have any vice president debates?
Oh God, I don't.
What about Duty's even stated, man, by the way he's taken off in free agency, said we are all business this year. He's picked up Jacobs, picked up McKinney. I mean, bro, he's saying we are. He said he's gonna do something. He's already keeping his word, bro. We're gonna be making a run. This is our, we're gonna do it this year.
I'm glad you brought that up, Rob. I'm gonna give you guys a stat that I read this morning.
I wish I knew who was saying that.
Xavier McKinney. He has a 5.7% missed tackle rate last year. That is the lowest among all NFL safeties who had at least 600 snaps in 2023. 5.7% missed tackle rate.
Juicy stat.
Yeah. And then what was the other stat that you said last week, right, Isaac?
And 543 snaps, 0 touchdowns allowed. 0.
Dang. It's like
this guy
543 snaps. 543 snaps. I mean, that's just on the defensive side. How many years is that in a row? I mean, how many games is that in a row? That's amazing.
0. Donut.
That guy's on our team.
That just puts a big old smile on Halfley's face.
Good, Fidel. How's it going, bud?
Good, man.
Just know that your back end is not getting scored on with McKinney being back there if you're throwing towards McKinney's way.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do real quick. John Dorn, we're gonna highlight you real quick. Why are the Lions the same old Lions, man?
Because they are the same old Lions. They're full of gold.
Well, I really gave it to that Lions fan last show.
Oh my God.
That was funny.
So let's do this. It does say with Robert Bertana, but I'm going to go ahead and give Robert Bertana the pick of the week, and he can go ahead and go on about it.
And now we got Homer of the Week with Robert Bertana.
There's a co-host on the morning show. His name is Ken, and he swore to everybody that Justin Fields would be on the team this year. You go ahead and go about it, Rob.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ken. I know we're co-hosts on the morning show, but
his name is Ken Dobie. Ken
Dobie, yes, Ken Dobie. Ken the Bear fan, you are a Homer of the Week. You swore up and down that Fields was going to be your guy. You swore up and down that there was no way that Foles was going to get rid of him. He wasn't even going to be traded. I know you eaten a lot of crow this last couple days, and you're just going to continue to eat it today because you're Homer of the Week, bud. And I'm sorry.
What about how? Well, the Bears obviously didn't trade him because they don't want to. 1 and 2, they're not getting. They have to at least get a first-round draft pick to trade him, right? Well, Justin Fields got traded for a conditional 6th-round draft pick in 2025.
Too much a bag of
Yeah.
Doritos.
He got traded for a half-eaten taco and cheese curd.
Yeah.
Hey, not even that, but a lot of specific Bear fans told me, "Oh, if we trade him off, we're going to get a haul. We're going to get a haul. A 6th-rounder is a haul." But hey, Ken, I got Ken Dobie. I got one thing to say to you, buddy.
Call me when you have been lucid and more clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you traded up. You gave up a bunch to trade up to get Justin Fields to begin with. And then you get look, it's not going to be a 4th-round pick. He has to play 51% of the snaps or something like that, I read. So
51%,
yeah, so when you're sitting behind Russell Wilson, who's never injured, who never misses games, good luck with that shit, okay? You're getting a 6th-round pick, I'm pretty sure.
And I'm laughing pretty hard. Tomlin already said there's no starting quarterback position, fighting it out. Like, it's not going to happen between Fields and Russ. Fields is a bench player, backup. And that's the way
Tomlin's got to sit
the way the
there.
line is drawn.
Yeah, Tomlin's got to sit there and reconstruct this poor guy.
Yeah.
So where did Trubisky go to? Who's he backing up now?
He went to the Bills.
He's backing up Josh Allen now.
Okay, so that's where. Okay, Fields be going to the Bills the next year or two. Then, okay. Just keeping track,
Hey, he got traded for a half-drank Slurpee and scented urinal cake.
So this is what I was thinking, right? They traded him for a bag of Doritos, if I'm not mistaken. This is Justin Fields now.
Half-eaten Doritos.
It's not only the gas station bag.
See, I heard it was the generic brand, though. It wasn't Doritos. It was the generic brand.
Nick, it's
Doritos.
not even that size. It's the little kid sizes. You know what I mean? The kid Dorito size.
Generic size. Generic one, too.
Yeah, I'm starting to think like maybe I shouldn't have put the nacho cheese Doritos up there. I don't even think he was worth that. It would be the Cool Ranch Doritos.
And then the most important stat, he leaves the Bears winless against Packers.
Winless.
He also leaves the Bears with more interceptions than touchdowns against the Packers.
Again, like Trubisky, winless. Don't forget that. Again, like Trubisky, winless against us.
Trubisky lost to Brett Hundley, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he never beat us.
So I'm sorry. You know what? There's going to come a time where it's hard for us to even remember what quarterback even beat us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you guys, let me ask you this now. Does the trend continue? Do we sweep them again this year? Or does Caleb Williams come in and he changes the magic? Go ahead, Ken, you're shaking your head.
We are breaking out the broom and we're introducing him to this rivalry, which he already knows well since he's a Packers fan. When he gets swept by us, he's still going to have in his thoughts, go, Pat, go.
Yeah.
Actually, let me rephrase. It's going to be painted on his nails for the game.
Oh.
Yeah, since he's a Packer fan, like he probably like comes to a point where he's winning the game and he goes, wait a minute, I love the Packers. He throws an interception.
Here, Alexander, here you go.
So we touched on the Bears. We touched on, the guys that we picked up. There's other news in the NFC North where Vikings running back is now gone.
What's up, Jonathan?
Alexander Madison is going to the Raiders.
You guys, maybe.
I got to be honest.
Wild.
I don't think that Alexander Madison is going to succeed no matter where he is unless he's the backup running back. In fact, I would go as far as to say I wouldn't have minded if he was our backup running back. I really wouldn't.
Hey, right here. I got this right here. Lions with Sweetgrass. Same old Lions ain't doing shit this year. You guys had a lucky fucking streak fucking going on last year. Fucking guys are fucking fool's gold, man. You guys going back to second, maybe even third, man. I'm not even joking. Your fucking head coach is a joke. 24/7. Fucking just remember that, man. Let that stick in your fucking head. Guy loses games for you. He lost the Packer game. He lost the fucking Cowboy game. He lost the 49ers game. keep riding his ass, because you know what? You can put you right in the basement again real soon. He's riding Ben Johnson's fucking tail. Just get it through your fucking head. You guys are fucking fool's gold.
Same old Lions.
When you guys cried about that whole refs thing at the end of the Cowboys game, you know how you change that? Is you beat the shit out of them before it even happens. You know who did do that? We did that. The Green Bay Packers did just that. We didn't need an overtime. We didn't need a 2-point conversion. We didn't need any of that. The game was over after the first quarter.
And you guys are the same old Lions.
And they tried to throw a fast one on the refs. It's like, good man.
Speaking of the same old Lions, another game where we won by the end of the first quarter, Thanksgiving. That game was over immediately.
Oh man, I like how they brag about their last minute touchdown when nobody was even playing hard, and you know what I mean. They were letting them have the underneath.
The game was within 7 points, dude. That game was not within 7 points the whole game until we gave you guys a touchdown at the end.
They went these two corners that are fucking bums. Two corners are bums.
The Lions fans remember this. First play of the game. Oh, Jordan Love to Christian Watson down the field.
And then I liked how, they're ragging on Rashawn Gary, and Rashawn Gary wrecked the whole game for the Lions.
He had 3 sacks and a forced fumble, right? Or 2 forced fumbles, I think.
2 forced fumbles. The
Lions got with the silver platter, man. The division, both their games, they beat the 2 weakest fucking seeds. They barely beat the fuckers, and they went, if it wasn't for the Packers, they wouldn't even won that fucking second fucking playoff game. Because they would have played us. We would have whooped their ass and knocked them out.
We would have kicked their ass that game.
That's funny.
What do you think, Bill? Don't you think if we would have beat the Niners, we go on to play Detroit, we would have kicked their ass?
I think so, too, just because, they got us earlier in the season, but that's when we were still putting it all together. You seen what happened when we put it together later in the season. It wasn't looking too good for them.
Dude, they got exposed. That game.
They got exposed after the Ravens game. They got exposed, man. They did. Think about it, man. They went downhill after that.
Hey, can I rant a little bit by Alexander Madison?
Go ahead.
Sure.
All right.
So
all these Viking fans, right? They kept saying if Alexander Madison steps in the shoes of Dalvin Cook, that he would tear it up, that he would be the best running back on the team. They don't need Dalvin Cook. Even though Dalvin Cook had, a down year or whatever, he was a backup to Breece Hall last year. But they kept ranting that Alexander Madison is going to be the man. That guy plain sucked. You know what I mean? He got 1 touchdown in the whole year. He got stopped behind the line of scrimmage I don't know how many times. And you can't blame your O-line like Bear fans do. Your O-line actually did pretty well for the Vikings. So there's no O-line excuse. Madison was a straight bum. And you Viking fans tried to tell everybody how this guy's going to pick up the load, pick up the slack, be the number 1 running back. I think, he was benched half the season for Ty Chandler.
So where is JJ going? What do you think he's getting traded to?
Yeah, he's a straight bum. You know what I mean? Raiders probably, you're going to use him as a backup, running back 3. Because that guy just sucks. All right, ran over.
The rant over.
What do you think? Where do you think JJ is going to get traded to?
I'm hearing the Bengals.
Bengals?
Yeah.
It could be.
And then if I was the Vikings, I would ask for T. Higgins back and a substantial pick, give me 3rd or 4th round. You know what I mean? That should do it.
Yeah, save the money at least.
You get a younger wide receiver in T. Higgins, and you don't have to pay him as much as Justin Jefferson, and he's a great wide receiver.
Something I want to touch on since you're talking about these running backs. I keep seeing the most unintelligent shit I've ever seen where the Packers downgraded at running back.
Oh.
So we got 3 years, almost 4 years younger at running back. We got a guy who has missed way less games in the most recent years at running back. A guy that won the rushing title, something Jones never did. As great as Jones is, as much as we didn't want to see him leave, how's that a downgrade? Can someone explain to me? Can someone explain this to me, how that is a downgrade?
I think the only area that you could say that's like possibly a downgrade is how good of a wide receiver Aaron Jones is. And I don't think Jacobs is as polished as Aaron Jones is.
I don't know about that. He went to LaFleur and said, I want the ball more. I want to catch more balls. He wants it more. And
yeah, I mean, Jacobs might have some routes, but I haven't seen a running back, other than Kamara or Mixon that runs like wheel routes and, deep slant routes like Aaron Jones does, and catches the ball. We've seen it all year or all his career with Green Bay. He runs every single route a wide receiver can run and catches.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he goes down to California with all the receivers.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever read in my entire life. Oh, well, because overall, Jacobs isn't better than by what? By what metric?
Yeah, when we see Aaron Jones as a top 5 running back, it's because he's top 5. Jacobs was one of those guys that was ahead of him in the top 5. That's why he was Jones was referred to as a top 5.
And on top of that,
just real quick, Isaac. This is the logic that I'm every time I ask, how did we downgrade? This is the logic. Well, just because, bro. That's why. Like, this is the dumbest shit ever. Have you ever watched a fucking football game in your life? You fucking moron.
He said no. Invite him on the show. Invite him on.
Here's a Lions fan saying you all upgraded at running back because we did if you take everything into account. Only issue is while everyone is scrambling for running backs, Lions really have the Lions do have the best duo of running backs. I'm able to admit that they have a great duo of running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Jacobs on our team, man. Wait till you see him behind our O line. You know what I mean? We're gonna open up holes for that guy. He's an angry downhill runner.
They have it for right now.
130
skill separates them. This is the dumbest shit I've ever read. I don't know who this person is, but you're an unintelligent person in general. You are uneducated. You are a moron. That's all there is to it. This is the dumbest shit I've ever read in my life.
Yeah,
sorry.
Jacobs might not have been used much in that role, but when he was used in it, he caught damn near everything that was thrown at him.
Hey, look at AJ Dillon. He wasn't catching nothing in Boston College, and he came in his rookie season was catching everything.
Yeah, Vikings fan there, Nick.
I'm shocked. I am shocked that it's
the Vikings fan. I think. Yeah.
You mean the least intelligent fan base that ever existed? Yeah, I'm not shocked.
That's fine enough.
What does this have? Look, what does this have to do with anything? I also didn't call for Saquon Barkley when Jones was in town, but does that mean that Jones is magically better than Saquon Barkley? No. Like this is a stupid person. This must be like, I don't know. This sounds like Rob Haskell. Shit. Yeah. See, yeah. Again, there's a Lions fan saying he's trolling. Y'all did upgrade. Like, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's pretty wild. But we'll see when the season kicks off who's standing where and where. I mean,
and then,
do you guys ever notice when you make someone look stupid, they always go, "You're just a homer. You're just that's the immediate thing to do. You're just a homer, right?" Well, you know what? Wait. Jaden Reed is overall better than Justin Jefferson. You know why? Because, bro, just because the catching separation, right, or whatever bullshit you're trying to pull. No, he's better than him. And if you disagree, then you're a homer. You're a Vikings homer. I'm just saying, like, see. Go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
And back to the whole Aaron Jones was a top 5 running back. How does that not say there's 4 guys better than him? Do you have to go out and list every player that's better than every other player for it to fucking make sense? Or it's the fucking consensus. We know Vikings fans live in delusion a lot. So maybe we can forgive it a bit, but come on, let's snap to reality here.
Oh, with that last emoji?
Some other dumb shit. Why did you never say Jacobs was better before? When did you ever see anyone compare Jacobs to Jones before this ever happened? When did I ever get asked the question, who's better, Jacobs or Jones? That never happened. What a stupid fucking comment.
Everybody's looking at the 23 fucking stats. They're looking at 23 stats, and when they lost their coach, and their team was a mess, man. He didn't even want to fucking play for him. He didn't try his hardest. Let's go look at the 22 stats once. That's the fucking one. That's who we're expecting to run against our fucking underneath our fucking line. That's the fucking player we want is a 22 player. And that's the one we're gonna get.
So, hey, everyone.
There he
I
is.
want to welcome to the show Michael Wyche. He played for East Los Angeles College, where then he went to the University of Miami, the Hurricanes, and then he made the Packers, the Green Bay Packers roster, where he was a defensive lineman. How's it going, Michael?
How's it going, man? How you doing?
So you have a very, very interesting story. I did read your bio, and I looked at, I did a lot of research on you. Everything that you're doing is wonderful at this point, and I just really want you to start touching on what it is that you're about, because you have a great story.
Man, I'm about peace, love, and happiness.
Right.
There we go.
Man.
I'm about peace, love, and happiness. I'm about being a great father, great mentor to the next generation of defensive tackles, which I do now. I train guys. Just being a positive role model for, especially kids in my community to look up to.
Yeah, I seen videos of you doing motivational speech, at schools and stuff. We were watching them videos. That's pretty good stuff there.
And I just want to ask you, what's it like to be so good at something that you make a league like the NFL, something that 99.9% of the world can't accomplish? What's that like to be so good at something like that?
Man, it's a blessing, because, just like this older guy told me, he said, even if you make pretty much the practice squad or just get a mini camp invite, you did something that 1% of the world dream about doing. It's hard to just make that. We ain't even talking training camp. It's hard to make that, And I tell the kids the same thing because, a lot of these kids out here, they feel like they have arrived. And, they feel like they the man right now because they, some guy with some cowboy boots on, with some little shorts on, came out there at the Rivals camp and gave them a couple stars. So they think they're the man now. So, sometimes, you got to give them a reality check, that, hey, man, you got to keep working, so because it gets more difficult and more difficult every level you go up.
Yeah, so from what I understand, you used to be Money Making Mike, right? What do they call you now? What do you go by these days?
Coach Mike.
Coach Mike. Oh, it was funny before the show. Rob said that maybe we should call you Coach Mike because you're a coach, and I'm sure that's what they call you these days.
Yeah, man, I'm a coach now, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so I be back and forth from Virginia to Green Bay, because I pour into the community in Green Bay too. So,
do you ever go to any Packer games still or anything?
I do. I'm about to actually do something special with the with like the Green Bay community as far as with my story. So I can't talk too much about it because it's about to be nice. But
make sure you inform us so we can show up and come check it out and stuff.
Please, man, please. It's gonna be dope.
I'm only 45 minutes away, man.
Yeah, we got people all over. We got a lot of fans that watch the show that are out that way. Right.
Yeah,
Where's your school located? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Robert. Go
ahead. Mike, I was just wondering. I definitely want to get to your book and your bio and things like that. I know that that's something that's very important to you. So I was very interested in it, reading a lot of this stuff. Again, great story. I just have a few kind of off-topic questions real quick, just because you were on the Packers roster. The guy that played for Green Bay when you were there, he's like the most polarizing news watched player that ever existed in the NFL. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers. Did you ever get to talk to him? And if you did, what was he like?
Man, down to earth. Yeah, I got a chance to talk to him. He's down to earth. Very he not a flashy guy. Just very down to earth, man. Everybody love him, man. He's just a great teammate. I mean, he one of them guys that treat the janitor like the CEO, so you ain't, he treat everybody the same. He just good people, man. He's just good people. He ain't nothing with the media try to portray him to be.
Right. That's
for sure.
what we were trying to figure out. You know.
Nah.
Yeah, he's
not
no
even.
diva, right? No diva, or is he a diva?
Nah, not even. Not even. He just
Okay.
he like
All
any
right,
other
good.
player. He just want. He
Regular
just.
dude.
Yeah. He just.
All right.
I mean,
Good.
if he see BS, he gonna call. He gonna say something about it. That's
Right.
all.
That's what you want a leader to do, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want
Yes.
So there's another quarterback in town now. I'm sure you know who Jordan Love is. What do you think of the Packers' new quarterback, Jordan Love?
Oh yeah, he up next for sure. Yeah. Hey, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about Green Bay, man, but they always can find a quarterback. I don't know.
We don't know what it is either, but we sure love it.
What did you think when you went to the Green Bay Packers? What did you think when you first seen it? When you first walked in there and then they signed you up? What did you think of the facilities and everything?
Oh man, it was dope. It was kind of a different experience for me than everybody else. Cause like I said, my story pretty much different from everybody else. Like,
Sure.
you know, coming from where I come from, like it was just huge for the city to just see somebody like me even make it to that point, you know. So, I mean, it was more like, man, I made it out the hood. I really get to, you know, really inspire these kids back on. I was not once thinking about myself when I was there. Like I was just thinking about like, dang, like, you know, I really got a story to tell. And I was writing my book in my head.
I read part of it or your storyline and I loved it, man. I love that story, what you're doing and everything else. Keep up the good work, man. That's all I can say.
One question I have is, other than like the locker room, you know, the typical answer of what did you miss most about being in the league?
Well, I mean, football. You know, you just miss football because eventually you have to go up and up and up. I just miss football. I miss hitting people and not get blamed for it. You know, I miss, you know. So I miss the physical nature of the game. I miss, you know, that's why I had to hop back into coaching because, I mean, you know, we go off and we do other things, but you know, most of the time, an athlete gonna get depressed, especially if he played a lot of football.
You ever go to the floor and nudge him and say, "Hey, hire me, man"? You ever nudge the floor and say, "Hey, hire me"?
Nah, man. I'm actually trying to create my own little lane. Like right now, I'm creating a coaching business, which I'm able to have.
Do you link up with Snoop Dogg then? You know, because it's kind of like that same thing, right? Create your own little league, maybe teams, do your own coaching thing.
Well, I ain't trying to create a league or nothing. I'm just trying to develop the next generation of pass rushers and defensive linemen, pretty much. You know, that's my lane. You know, a lot of trainers out here try to go into a lane like they played DB, but now they're trying to coach quarterbacks, punt returners, kick returners. You wasn't good at that, so why would you know, try to do that? I mean, it's more about making money than me. It's more about like really like developing kids.
That's cool.
That played I want to see another Michael Wyche, and I want to see him better than me. Though I want to see a Michael Wyche that's better than me.
I like that. I played basketball for a junior college in California, and I'm sure when you went to East Los Angeles, which is like probably the best bridge school you can go to for universities, right? They were even on TV on Netflix for Last Chance U. Like this is a great college to go to, and it propelled you to go into University of Miami. But one thing I even noticed, because, you know, I went to a junior college and I had all these accolades. I was like, you know, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to a D1 school eventually. Like I have all these records broken and all these championships. And I started noticing even at the schools like that, everyone was like, yeah, I got that too. And I was like, really? So I don't think people really realize how hard it is to do any of this stuff, to go pro, to go to a D1 school, to play even for the junior colleges. It is so difficult. The talent level is crazy when you get past high school, right?
Right. And a lot of things that, you know, people don't know about junior college is like you're facing like former Division I players that made mistakes early on in college. So you got Cam Newtons in JUCO, you know. So it's like it ain't like you playing against some bums or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you got so many. It's a big percentage of the NFL that went to junior college.
Yeah. Like Aaron Rodgers went to Butte College.
You know what I'm saying? You got J.C. Jackson. He went to a college out in JUCO out in California. So I mean, it's just so many people. You got Bruce Irvin. He went to junior college. He was a good pass rusher for the Seattle Seahawks for years. So a lot of them go through junior college. So you ain't playing against no slums. That's for sure.
Growing up, who's like one of your favorite players growing up?
Growing up,
he's gonna say Julius Peppers.
It was Pep though. It was Pep. Julius Peppers. Once I knew that I was gonna play defensive line, he's a guy because I started off as a defensive end. People don't know that.
Okay.
But that's a guy that I started watching. Yeah, and then it went into Ndamukong Suh. I just loved. I know he did some bad stuff to Aaron Rodgers, but I just loved physicality.
He's not one of our favorite guys.
I didn't watch too much of Aaron Donald because we came up around the same time.
Yeah.
So you like those players that got that dog in them?
Yeah, that's my style of play. Like a Reggie White and Ndamukong Suh.
All right.
Yeah.
It makes sense that you loved being like a D end or a defensive lineman wherever you were on the D line. Because I also read that you were a really, really good wrestler. So I mean, mixed with football, that's a dangerous, combination.
Yeah. It actually, to be honest with you, if wrestling had like pros, I probably would have went to that.
Okay.
That wrestling was like my first love. Like, yeah, I love wrestling. I just like the individual sport. You can't blame nobody but yourself.
Well, I'll make sure if I ever meet you, I make sure to, keep my tongue tied so I don't say nothing.
Don't get out of pocket. Is there any story that you remember of anything of being at practices or working out at the stadium or anything that stuck out to you?
Yeah, man. When I underestimated Aaron Jones, because he was little when he was very small when he came in. Like he was a little guy, and I looked at him. I was like, he probably ain't that guy, Like I thought Jamal Williams was gonna be that guy.
I liked when we had the duo.
Jamal Williams was really put together, like, and that was my fault going off of physical features.
Yeah.
And when he got the ball in his hands, it was just like, my bad, dog. My bad.
We all miss Jamal Williams. I wish that he didn't leave Green Bay. That was a good pick.
We all came in the same time. Like we walked in there. It was me, Martravius Adams. You remember him?
Oh yeah.
Martravius Adams. So I walked in the building with Martravius Adams, Kevin King.
King.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Josh Jackson, right? I think Josh Jackson was the same year.
Josh Jackson, yup. McCaffrey brother.
How bad did the Bears? Hey, how bad did the Bears suck?
How bad they suck?
Yeah.
Man.
Would you guys crack jokes before the game, before you go out there, before and after? And like, we got him again.
Yeah, like they sorry, man. Like I think they always gonna be sorry.
You gotta clip that one, Bill. They sorry.
Hey, so look, check this out. I actually met a Bears fan in the store, and I actually had one of my Michael White story t-shirts, hoodies, and I signed it for him.
Nice.
Gave it to him. And I put up there, the Bears will always and forever suck. Love Mike.
I bet he's got it framed in his basement, man. Bet.
I hope he do. He might have threw it away, but it's all good.
Do you have a site for your merch?
Yeah, man. Actually, so what I'm doing is now we are putting together. So the website is pretty much if you don't want to read the Michael White story, you can wear the Michael White story.
Okay.
And basically it's just quotes that I've said or have just somebody in my family said that stuck with me throughout my football journey. Just just like if trauma can be passed down through generations, and so can healing. Because that's what my story is about, breaking the generational curse.
Well, let me go ahead and bring up. Let me go ahead and bring up the graphic real quick, just to plug the book. So first, this is Michael Wyche, played defensive line for the Green Bay Packers, and I believe from what I read, it's South Norfolk, next to Chesapeake, Virginia, if I'm correct, right?
Well, it's actually a little section in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's got a book. It's called Generational Curse, the Michael Wyche story. So why don't you go ahead and plug it however you want to plug it. Tell us what you want to tell us about your book.
So basically, it's about a kid, which is myself, that pretty much was living in poverty. Mother was struggling with a drug addiction. Father doing 40 years in prison. He went to prison when I was 3 years old for murder. So I ended up, turning to the streets. And, when you in that type of environment, you think that pretty much drug dealing and gun violence is what's cool, what's the answer, and due to my mother used to try to steal my stuff and all that just to, help her drug habit. I knew early that I wanted to make money, but I only had an example of making money the wrong way out there. So this guy one day, my mother ended up abandoning me. She left me with some individuals who gave us an opportunity to sleep on their couch until we got ourselves together because we were homeless at the time. This individual, after she abandoned me, I went just to the park to shoot basketball to get some time off my hand. This individual came up to me. He saw me playing full court with the guys, and that's when he saw that my athletic ability was different from everybody else. And he was like, "Man, pretty much who your family?" Because South North is very small. Everybody know each other's families and stuff like that. So, who your family? Da da da. And I told him, my situation. So we went back to the people home who allowed us to spend the night there, and that's when I found out that he wanted to pretty much take me under his wing, take me in his household, and pretty much train me and turn me into something to get out of the streets. And come to find out, he was a former running back for the Green Bay Packers by the name of Keith Burnell.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a deep story.
So it's crazy how he was with the Packers, and then years later, it turned around, I got my shot with the Packers. So generational curse is deep, man. It's a Green Bay, it's a Lambeau story, man. That everybody going. It's all the way Lambeau. I'm telling you, like this guy, like I said, this guy was a Packer, and then he took in a future Packer. So it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy how that was my first team.
Lambeau leap,
I'm telling you, man. So it's kind of like a spinoff of The Blind Side a little bit, but better, I think.
Hey, one question I wanted to ask is, in the back of Lambeau, do we grow linemen back there? Because we always got linemen.
Yeah, we do. We always got good linemen.
So before you signed with the Packers and whatnot, and went over there and did what you did, were you a Packer fan, or was there another NFL team that you grew up being a fan of?
I actually, what's crazy? I was not. I used to just watch the game. Like I never had a. I'm the type of guy that I pick with all the fans that who if their team lost that day, I would pick with them and piss them off.
Yeah,
I never really had a fan. I back then I was gambling, so I gamble on the teams and stuff like that. But I never really had a true team. I never had a true, because I was literally knee deep in the streets. So. So it was more of football saved my life, pretty much.
Right.
I like that you're talking about how, like, So you said you weren't really making money the right way because you weren't like really taught the right way to make money and things like that. I feel like even though there's a lot of NFL players, maybe it's not involved with like street activity and stuff like that. They make all this money and then they're out of the league for a few years and they're broke. So I feel like there's just a lot of people that just aren't being taught what to do with their money in proper ways because, I mean, take Kobe Bryant, for example, right? His family is set for life because he invested. He moved his money in the right directions. There's so many guys, for whatever reason, this is all sports. This is soccer, hockey, baseball, football. It all kind of turns around where these kids, they're so young and they make so much money, but they were never taught what to do with their money, you know?
Yeah. Well, I was taught at a young age, what to do with my money, even though it was the wrong way. That was my first financial education. And like I said, that was all I knew back then. But the guys that I saw that were successful in my environment, they gave me quotes like double up twice before you splurge once. If you can't pay for it twice, you can't afford it. Always put the 70-30 rule. Put 70% of your check is 30% of your savings. You'll never go broke. So I always follow those rules with the OGs taught me in the streets, and just apply that to I knew if I made money the right way, which I always wanted to, but I had an addiction to making money the wrong way. But I always wanted to, I took those rules with me. And when I was playing and stuff like that, I got a trucking business. I got stuff that I'm doing on the side. So, it all double up twice before you splurge once. Always put 10% away. Really, 70% check-ins, 20% savings, 10% investing.
Yeah, there you go.
You'll never go broke.
I was always told when I was younger, like, if you're not investing, then you're not really doing nothing with your money. You know what I mean?
Never. And I always invested my money. That's why I always invested my money. I always say
money don't make money. That's for sure.
Nah, you gotta make you gotta be able to multiply it.
Yeah. The guy that actually told me that he owned vending machines, and he's like, this isn't my job. I just own these because he invested in all these vending machines and he put them everywhere. And he's like, dude, I don't even have to work pretty soon. This is all coming back. So you're working, putting it into something that then makes you money after that. You know what I mean? And I mean, I would love to retire at like 50 years old myself. I'm trying to do something like that.
Well, see, I invested in books. I invested in my story, pretty much. Right. And the Packer fans, bro, they bought. Now I've sold over 500,000 T-shirts and hoodies.
Wow.
No bullshit.
After this, it's gonna be 500,00001. I'm gonna go on your site and see.
They go and get the Green Bay Packer one.
This is coming from a Bear fan, even.
Yeah, that right there.
There's a Bears fan up here.
That's a Bear fan.
Yeah, it's just thank you for joining.
Fan on the comments.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
man. So we've been doing. My story has really the Packer Nation has really supported me. And man, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on and taking the time.
Can you get a Go Pack Go?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Go Pack Go forever, man.
Yeah. Hey, you still talking to Tony Dungy?
Huh?
You still talk to Tony Dungy?
I have not talked to him. I have not talked to him since I left college, actually.
Okay.
I have not.
I was just wondering about that.
Are there guys that you do keep in touch with from like, either the NFL or college?
Yeah, I got a lot of NFL friends. I got a lot of NFL defensive line friends. It's like a brotherhood. They actually, some of them come and train with me. I got a couple guys that has made it pro from Norfolk State and Old Dominion, which is in my hometown, where I go and train those guys as well. They come back. Like I said, the guys that were in my class that play with me at Miami, that's in the league now, we still got great relationships. One of my boys, he just won 2 Super Bowls back to back with the Chiefs, Deion Bush. We played together in college.
Send them our way. We need some linebackers. Send them our way.
And my other teammate Denzel Perriman, he's actually with the Texans right now. He had a pretty good solid season as well.
Tell me he wants to trade. Tell me he wants to trade. Tell me he wants to trade for the Packers. Tell me he wants to trade, and the Packers will trade for him.
Do you have a a location for a school that you do this? Is there a location, or how do you follow these guys? Because you say you're back and forth between Green Bay and West Virginia. Do you have?
So I have a little private location that I send out a message, and it's kind of like a retreat. We all get together and we talk football. We train football. So like sometimes I'll do it at a local private school, or like a local training facility. I got some relationships up there in Green Bay as well. So yeah.
What do you think about the Packers switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3 defense under Hafley's system?
I think that'll be very, very good because now you give the defensive line more leeway. You get a chance for them to create a new line of scrimmage. They don't have to play based off the linebackers anymore. Now they can create a line of scrimmage. They can fly around without thinking. In that 3-4, you got to think a lot. I'm a former nose tackle when I played at Miami. When we played it in the 3-4, be honest with you, you're gonna make your money, but don't no defensive lineman want to be in the 3-4. We want to be able to get after it. We want to be able to get up the field. We want to be able to create havoc, and like I said, create a new line of scrimmage, confuse the quarterback. You could do that in the 3-4, but like I said, that's more designed for the linebackers and the edge rushers. The interior guys really ain't gonna have eye-popping stats. You may see that this year, depending on the skill set of the defensive lineman. I think we got some good defensive linemen though. We got Gary, we got JJ, we got Kenny Clark.
If you think with going to this,
I think Van Ness gonna come along. Van Ness, all right.
I like this.
So we got Preston. He the veteran. Of the group. So. Yeah, he's still even the years he didn't put in the league, he's still getting after it, So I can't wait to see them in the 4-3. Now I think that's gonna open up for Quay Walker too. Quay Walker gonna have a crazy year, I think.
Great season.
He need two more guys to go with him though.
What about McDuffie?
Who the other linebackers?
McDuffie.
Isaiah McDuffie.
McDuffie tough.
Big splashes. He made
Enigbare.
And
we had Devondre Campbell, but Green Bay just cut him. And speaking of which, how did you feel if you saw the news about what happened with Aaron Jones and everything with Green Bay? How did you feel about reading that?
No way, it's a business, man.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's a business, and at the end of the day, people got to realize that they want him to take a pay cut. Aaron Jones ain't taking another pay cut. He took a pay cut last year. So he, at the end of the day, he got to look out for him, and he got to set his family up well too. So he had to do what he had to do. It's a business at the end of the day, man. It's a very cutthroat business.
No players should take a pay cut. They're eventually going to be asked to take less money later in their career. So
and either you take it or we got to trade you. We got to ship you off somewhere.
So let me ask you this: Hey, did Chicago get fleeced for Justin Fields?
Say that again.
Did the Steelers rob the Bears for Justin Fields just for a 6th-round pick
with no Vaseline?
Yeah,
with no Vaseline.
Hey,
the Steelers, man, they won. Man,
got Russell Wilson for $1.2 million, and then a 6th-rounder for Fields.
But I see what they're doing, though. What they're doing is, Justin Fields still young. Justin Fields not even. Is he even 25 yet?
I don't think.
No, he's 24.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you have a kid now that can sit behind a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That has played the game at a high level for a long time. I know he had his little down year with the Denver Broncos, but at the end of the day, if you cut on the film, Russ made some plays too. Russ made I want everybody to understand. Don't get it twisted. All these fans are just looking at you got cut on the film. He made some crazy plays.
Right.
I don't think Russell
So-
Wilson had great coaches in Denver. I think with Tomlin, this is like a perfect situation for not only him but
Russ
Justin
about to
Fields.
eat, man. Russ about to eat. And now what you saying is kind of like with Aaron. I'm not saying he Aaron Rodgers. Don't. But what I'm saying is you kind of see like a mentorship type thing, like Aaron Rodgers was to Jordan Love. Now you about to see Russ to Justin Fields.
Yeah,
I think it's a perfect fit. Too.
I think it's a perfect fit.
Fields,
I think both of them are gonna benefit from it.
Yeah, because Justin Fields' playing style is kind of like Russ, right? You know,
Yeah.
dribble around, throw, and throw on the
Justin
move.
Justin Fields way faster than Russ, man.
Oh,
Justin
yeah,
Fields,
definitely.
Justin Fields is stretching field.
Yeah,
he can take it to distance.
Do you think if Justin Fields cut through the line of scrimmage, you'd be able to tackle him?
He cut through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he went through the tackles.
No.
You think he's that fast? He's that fast?
Yeah, hell yeah, he that fast. Yeah, he that fast. Yes. Now, if I met him in the hole, then I'll destroy him. But yeah, when he get into the secondary, it's over with, man. Yeah. It's over with.
I like how you made sure, like, well, I mean, if he gets in the hole, I'm getting that. I'm gonna just, that was good.
Yeah, if you give me time, if you give me the opportunity to shed, to lock out and shed, my guy, yeah, it's over with. Yeah, it's over with.
Now, speaking of that, who was the hardest offensive lineman you went up against in the pros?
Ooh, good question.
In the pros, John Feliciano.
Okay.
Okay.
He was with the 49ers last year. We've been battling for years though. He actually was my teammate at Miami.
Oh, okay. So you guys knew each other very well.
Yeah. He was tough. But David Bakhtiari, he was tough too though.
Well,
David was tough
had to be
too.
a fun one going against him.
Huh?
I said that had to be a fun one having to go against him.
I mean, I only felt him when he crashed down though. Like he usually out there on the island with the ends. I'm the inside guy more, right? So we rarely went against each other. But the hardest guard that I ever went against, I would have to say Feliciano.
Well, Feliciano got drafted by the Raiders, so he must have gained some serious grit, being in Oakland,
Yeah. He tough. He tough.
Nice.
Well, I mean, Bill, how much did you want to go a certain amount longer? Or
no, I'm good. I just said, whenever you guys are ready.
All right. Well, do you got anything else you want to talk about, Michael? I mean, this one's for you, my guy. So whatever you want to go over.
How y'all feel about the Aaron Jones trade?
We actually talked about on this show how we really hate the way that they did it, man. Because look, whenever a player wants an extension, the fans are always like, well, he needs to fulfill his contract. He signed the dotted line, right? Well, in this instance, the Packers signed the dotted line. You know what I mean? They were the ones that created the contract. They need to abide by that contract. So
for me, I thought we have the best goddamn dual fucking running backs in the league. And all of a sudden, a few minutes later, I read
who you talking about? AJ Dillon?
Jones
You thought we had Jones
together.
and
I really thought they were about to get rid of AJ Dillon. I really did.
So didn't I. I saw, to me, the writing was on the wall at first, but with the contract they gave him, it was just way too good for them to pass up.
Yeah, you imagine Jones and both of them together? And Jacobs?
Yeah, to be honest, it's sad, to see Aaron Jones. He's a fan favorite.
Listen,
then he goes to Minnesota.
Made me sick, man.
I'm convinced Jacob's going to bring a rushing title to Green Bay. We've never had one here. We've never had a big time.
He might.
Jacobs can do
he
it.
Might. He more than capable. That's for sure.
Yeah. To me, he looks like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon mixed together. That's what he reminds me of.
Yeah.
What I want to see from AJ Dillon though, man, because I need to see more physical from him, man.
Yeah.
Great person, but
He can tackle.
He don't run how he looks.
Yes, that's what we've all said here. That we just wish he'd be more aggressive and use that physicality.
The legs that he got, he should be running like Earl Campbell.
I think he's at this point now in life. Okay, he tested Mark a little bit. Like, wow, I got to get going here. Otherwise, my career's gonna be done. So he's got to do something this year to get another contract. You know what I mean? So I think he's gonna have a good year. I think he will have a good year.
So I want to know who was the coolest guy that you ever met in the NFL? Like just the dopest, most down to earth, just coolest guy you ever talked to or met when you were in the NFL.
Coolest guy I ever met.
I almost feel like are you gonna say like Jordy Nelson or something like that, or like
you talking about on the Packers or just the
or just any player in general? Any player in general, and it don't even have to be when you're with the NFL. It could be just any time.
I'm guessing you won't say Tom Brady.
No. No. The coolest guy I've met in the NFL, I would have to say, man, I met so many cool guys though. I've had like fun with cool guys. I've worked out with cool guys. Aaron Donald would have to be the coolest guy though.
Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald?
No, I take that back. No, you know what? I take that back. It got to be Aaron Rodgers because he gave us some money. He gave all the rookie and minicamp guys money.
Look at that.
Really?
Yeah. No, I got to take that back. He gave us some money, but he had an inspiring message with it though. He said, "You bums about to take care of this because a lot of y'all ain't gonna be here next week." He won't lie though. He won't lie.
Hey, he gave people the Kobe talk. You know?
No, for real. He did. He was not lying. He was not lying.
It doesn't surprise me. This is the guy that went up to Brett Favre and called him old timer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he's very outspoken. That's for sure. But when I tell you one of the greatest human beings, and matter of fact, Mike Daniels was a cool guy too, though.
Oh yeah, Mike Daniels.
Yeah, he took us out to eat. We ate a shitload of cheese curds there that night. That's the first time I ever had cheese curds. Mike Daniels.
To stay away from that.
What's your thoughts on Sam Darnold going to the Vikings?
Sam Darnold to the Vikings?
Yeah, they traded Kirk Cousins in for Sam Darnold.
I don't like that. Nah. I don't like that.
Like that.
I don't like that.
Well, you know what? How about so I'm sure you follow football extensively with your line of work and everything you do. Who do you think is going to be the best quarterback coming out this draft? Because a lot of people don't think it's Caleb Williams, and me personally, I actually like Bo Nix. But like, who do you like?
I like Bo Nix too, though.
Yeah,
I like Bo Nix too. Caleb, let me tell you, Caleb can be very good if he gets with the right offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach.
Well, do you think the Bears are the right place for him?
No, it's not. And this is no let's really talk football here, right? Like, if you look at what has happened with the Bears quarterback situation, they can't develop him and they can't put him in a successful situation. Justin Fields had no business going there anyway due to his playing style. Yeah. Like everybody's making a big deal about man, why the Falcons go get Kirk Cousins instead of getting Justin Fields? Well, Mike Smith ain't there, or Jim Moore is not there no more. So they're not going to run that Michael Vick type offense anymore because that's what type of players they are. If you want to be honest, Justin Fields is a Michael Vick type player. Lamar Jackson is a Michael Vick type player. So Caleb Williams, even though we would never see that happen, but he would fit more in a Baltimore Ravens offense. He'll fit better in a Kansas City Chiefs offense.
Yeah.
Because he has some Mahomes-ish type ability. I said Mahomes-ish. I didn't say he was Mahomes. I said Mahomes-ish. He got some Mahomes-ish type ability, so it's all based on, but, it sucks being the top player in college football because you go to the ass team, right? That's what happened.
Exactly.
You go to the team that's trash.
That's true.
I think with the Bears is a lack of quarterback mentorship, right? Like you
It's
can't have
horrible.
Jay Cutler mentoring somebody. You know what I
Jay
mean?
Cutler
You
don't
can't-
even mess with the
the
Bears.
ghost of the quarterback's past,
Yeah.
mentoring the new blood
Yeah.
that comes in. You know what I mean?
Well, they keep saying that they want to change this. They want to do something different this time. You know what's doing something different this time? Don't draft a quarterback right away. Throw him in day one and just expect him to be great. I don't know why more teams don't try to take on the mold of like what Green Bay did. For example, what the Steelers are doing. You said we can all see what the Steelers are doing. Get a guy. The Bears should have brought in Russell Wilson. The Bears should have brought in Gardner Minshew or someone like that, and then
Right.
draft your guy and have him learn. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why you're going to always see that quarterback tradition in Green Bay, because Green Bay is going to always have a mentor there before they let the mentor go, which is, I mean, it's a harsh way of looking at it, but Favre to, Rodgers to Love. Now Love is going to be where, years to come, Love is going to be something to somebody else,
People are trying to act like just because Love was under Rodgers, it doesn't automatically mean he's going to be Rodgers. And I get that. I understand that. But when you see some of the passes that he makes, it's like he's clearly learned.
Oh, he was trained by Rodgers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He was trained by Rodgers. Yeah. And now we always going to have that Rodgers type guy, because now Jordan Love is going to train that guy. It's a trickle effect. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say they not going to miss 1 year. They might miss 1 year. You try to train this guy into being that, but he's not that, Green Bay got an eye for quarterbacks, man. That's all I can say. Whoever the scout is on their team, he know what he's looking for, and they execute really well when it comes to scouting.
The best time to get a quarterback when you don't need a quarterback. That's the best time to get him, so you can develop them. And you got 2 or 3 years. Yeah, you got 2 years to look at him. Okay, within 2 years, this is a guy to keep training them, or start looking for different.
But Jordan was also getting fed up sitting in the back, though.
So what's your thoughts on the Detroit Lions?
They dangerous, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The Packers should be worried about them, huh?
They dangerous, man.
It's starting to look like the Lions and Packers are going to be in a dogfight for the next decade.
Yeah, that's gonna be a dog fight, man. Like the Detroit for real, man.
Have you ever met Dan
Detroit
Campbell
for real.
before?
Hey, look, let me tell you something right now. If they stupid head coach would have kicked the field goal, they would have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was just going to build up to that. I was going to ask you, have you ever met Dan Campbell?
That was a dumb play by Dan Campbell. He reminded me of a guy playing blackjack and just like let it ride.
Have you ever met Dan Campbell before?
We were 1 minute away from
I've never met
Lions
Dan
in the
Campbell.
NFC.
No.
Okay, I was hoping maybe you have, because I want to know, is he really that intense in real life? The guy is like super intense.
I've seen him play. He's a big dude. He's a very big dude. But I've never been able to shake his hand and talk to him one-on-one. No, I have not. No.
Okay. I got a question. Like, other than Green Bay, like, what defensive scheme? Like, if you were to still be playing, like, what defensive scheme fits you? Like, if you would have played and you think that you really like.
I could see myself still playing in Green Bay scheme.
Sitting next to Kenny Clark, being able to
right, because of what he's been able to do. You look at the productivity in that. I could also see myself in the Ravens defense.
Nice.
Not like the Niners, because now Armstead is gone, right? I mean,
yeah, I could see myself in the Niners. I could also see myself Kansas City for sure.
Okay.
Their defensive alignment, they get after it.
Yeah, play along with Chris Jones.
Those couple teams right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or Pittsburgh too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, why?
You name a couple teams that have that linebacker central right there. Steelers.
Yeah. Well, as a defensive lineman, you always want to have a good linebacker. Because that's the quarterback of the defense.
Ken's trying to say that you want to be on the Bears.
Like a Bear fan says, you want to be in Chicago's defense.
That's what
I do not. I do. Who Ken said that?
Yeah.
Not this
Ken,
guy.
Ken, I do not ever.
He's actually a co-host on one of our morning shows. Ken and Ken in the morning. He's one of the Kens in the morning.
Yeah, him and I.
Hands off our
Hey
player.
Ken, you might as well come to Title Town, baby.
Yeah,
that's right.
Come on, Ken. Come on, Ken. We waiting on you, baby.
He's retired in Florida. That's where he sits.
Ken, we waiting on you, baby. Come on to
love.
Title Town.
He says nothing but love.
Hey, we already got a Ken Packer fan. We don't need
Ken,
to.
you pretty much on the Can't Beat 'Em Join 'Em program right now.
All right, so being on the team, you get front row seats to all the games. You get to be at the practices. You get to see stuff that we don't get to see live all the time, right? What was the craziest thing you ever seen? It could be practice, a game. What was just you got to see you got to see Aaron Rodgers play, so I'm sure you saw some wild shit go down either practice or in the game, right?
Mike Daniels.
What was the craziest thing Mike Daniels did that you seen?
Throw offensive lineman like it was just like I've never seen nobody that strong, bro. Like I'm mad we got rid of him. Like
oh yeah.
I really like I've never.
Oh, there he is.
What's up,
Get him, Michael.
Hey, come on. Hey, look, man. Hey, I got some Green Bay stuff I'm gonna send you, man. Hey, drop that address in my inbox. I got you, man. We gonna. Oh my Lord, we gonna pocket that whole room out, man.
There we go.
Hey, Michael. Look, we all know that all good linebackers though want to be a Bear.
Oh, for sure.
We're gonna say, well, hey, he's a lineman. We do good with linemen.
But they do want to win, though, Ken. They do want to win.
Y'all do got a linebacker. Y'all do got a linebacker tradition. I give you that. But who y'all had since Urlacher and Briggs though?
Well, we had one. We traded him, but Tremaine Edmonds was good last year.
They hit Roku.
Y'all are allergic. Y'all allergic to winning. So we get it.
Hey, Ken likes to say that Packer fans that the Packers have a garden in someone's backyard and they grow linemen. We have a garden somewhere around Champaign-Urbana, our secondary home, and we're tearing down the stadium, and that's where we grow linebackers.
Hey, I asked Michael that question earlier on in the show, and he confirmed it. They grow linemen back here in Green Bay.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Mike Daniels, man. Mike Daniels, he was freakishly strong, man. Like it was unreal, man. The way he could just throw. I mean, he threw every offensive line. It won't just one. He threw everybody.
When he left us, I think he was injured, and it was cap money. Money, and so he went to the Lions, and he didn't really do much with the Lions. But man, when his prime, man, he was one of the best. I loved watching.
Yeah, I ain't never seen nobody throw people like that. That was a grown man. That was a grown man.
And what about Clay Matthews? Because it's crazy how his size, he's not as big as the offensive lineman, but I've seen him throw dudes like it was nothing.
Well, Clay was on his way out when I was coming in. Clay was headed to Los Angeles, I believe.
Los Angeles.
Yep. Yeah, so I ain't really get a chance. But the crazy part is, and I can send y'all a photo, I used to train with Clay when I was in junior college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were in East Los Angeles and he was at USC, right?
He used to train in Santa Monica. Me, him, CJ Spiller. Y'all remember Dayton Jones? From UCLA. Jones, me, him, Dayton Jones. Man, it was Taylor Mays. I don't know if y'all remember him.
I do.
Yeah, Taylor Mays. Yeah, we all used to train out there in Santa Monica.
Wasn't Mays Mays was a defensive tackle?
No, he was a safety. He was a big safety.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was like a Cam Chancellor.
I'm sorry, I meant Dayton Jones. My bad. And he actually switched to D-tackle, right?
Yeah.
And he was at UCLA, so you guys were all down there in Southern California training with all these monsters, man.
Yeah. And Clay, can I send a picture in the chat?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me see if
that'd be awesome.
You could send it to the here. You know what?
Let's add him to the show chat.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Add him to the show chat, Rob.
All right, I'll add him.
I would love to see these pictures, man. It's not often we get to talk to guys.
Clay told me I'm gonna be when I was training with him.
Ain't nobody that strong, bro. Like,
you gonna put on a Green Bay Packer helmet. That's what he told me.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And it was crazy.
Is it true that he does like UFC during the off season, Clay? Because I remember there was talk of that before.
Oh, he was doing mixed martial arts. I mean, it would make sense to these guys, like how Michael was like a great wrestler. It makes sense that they do stuff like this because it helps them. Like, you know, when you're on the line of scrimmage,
it's almost like a lot of players do yoga too now.
Yeah,
Ken does yoga.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what. You know, in the Army, you know, we would do our PT stuff, and one day they were in AIT, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna go see an aerobics person." Of course, you know, you're talking a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, right? And we're used to doing hardcore Army PT. Like, we're gonna go do what? This little girl, you know, Bucko 5 soaking wet. She smoked all of us in the first 15 minutes. I mean, you're talking, you know, at this point, you've done basic training. We're halfway through AIT, so you know, I was the best I'd ever been at that point. You're ripped. You have no body fat. And
you
this
should have
little
Ryan Poles give her a call.
Dude,
you guys see that?
That stuff
breaking news. The Panthers just signed Yosh. Yeah, they just signed Yosh.
Did you receive the picture?
I'm looking.
I put it in there. I put it in your DM.
Oh, in mine. Oh, you went straight to mine. Okay. Hold on. I was looking in the show chat. Hold on.
Yeah, Mike, I sent you a message as well.
Yeah, here we go.
Something that I always heard growing up.
That's a cool pick, man. Hold on. I'm gonna send it to these guys so they can put it in there. That's a cool pick right there. Hell yeah.
Something that I used to hear when I was a kid, though, growing up, was that a lot of NFL players actually do ballet. Is that true?
It's required. It was required in college that we took
Really?
it. Our coach signed us up for it. Yeah.
So did you guys do like the aerobics and the yoga and stuff, and that kicked your ass as much as it kicked our ass in the Army?
Man, I love yoga because you're in there with all the ladies. You know, that's inspiration in itself. But no. All seriousness though, like if you with the right yoga instructor, that shit hurt, man.
Yeah,
it hurts. It really, really hurts. Like
80 hardcore, like PT stud dudes walking into a studio.
Yeah,
got picked.
Well, that's like Van Ness. He was a hockey player. I think you play sports like that, like hockey player. You know, that really helped him out.
I think Van Ness gonna have a breakout year next year.
I think so too.
Yeah,
and then he gonna go so crazy. Somebody gonna have to take a pay cut, or they're getting shipped out.
Clay just looks like he's ready. Clay looks like he's ready to tear someone apart all the time. That dude is athletic.
We did these stairs. Mm-hmm. So pretty much these stairs were like, it looked like it was leading up to heaven. and Clay started off like, all right, so we would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one.
Wow.
Oh.
We had 40 of those without stopping.
Oh. I don't know if I could do that.
Did you do ice baths afterwards?
Yeah, I did. He the one who showed me how to train like a pro, and pretty much. Little did I know, training with these guys and having the privilege to be around these guys, I was learning how to train people then. How to properly train like a pro. And so my middle school guys that are coming up right now that I'm training, they are dominating the competition right now because I'm teaching them how to train like a Clay Matthews right now.
Yeah. Is there a kid that you're training that we should look out for that could be a prospect?
Yes, his name is Jordan Harris. He's going to play at Norfolk State University this coming fall. Jordan Harris, his first 3 seasons in high school, he couldn't get over 9 sacks. I didn't know nothing about him. I heard about him a little bit, but we ended up connecting leading up to his senior year. And like I said, he couldn't get over 9 sacks his first 3 seasons at Indian River High School. We trained that whole summer. We go at it that whole summer leading up to his senior year. After we trained, after the senior season was over, he recorded 26 sacks,
Oh shit.
30 tackles for a loss.
26 sacks?
26 sacks, 30 tackles for loss, 110 tackles.
Man.
He got defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And he set his school single season sack record.
You're making TJ Watts out there, man. Jeez.
Man, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Hey, you know what, Mike? I know what you're talking about. My son plays high school ball, and we've had a problem here where he's going to be a junior next year, with his 3rd head coach. Luckily, my nephew, my former nephew, he's a trainer for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So now my son spends his summer training with him. This year alone, after spending just 2 weeks with him in the summer, getting that professional regiment like you're talking about, my son's growth has been off the charts compared to his teammates. And unfortunately, though, there's not enough guys or high school kids who are getting that kind of connection. You know, I got lucky. My former nephew, I still call him my nephew, when he got out of the Marine Corps, decided to become a trainer. Now he's working in what they call that now, UFL with the Battlehawks, and he's teaching my son. There are a lot of players out there in high school who they don't know what to do, because high school coaches, they're only caring about what I have found with high school coaches. They care, at least here in Florida. Oh, this freshman, he's already got 8 D1 offers. Okay, he's 6'5", he can't catch, but that's all they care about, so they play him. And these other kids get frustrated, and they don't teach them. They don't teach and mentor. They don't teach them how to work out. They don't teach them how to train.
And
they
that's
don't teach
that's
them.
what Mike's doing. Yep, that's what Mike.
Doing. We need more of that. We need more of you.
My guys. When like school is out, my pro guys, I got them on. So we wake up at 3 a.m. We go from 4 to 6. Then we go again 8 to 10. Then we go again 10 to 12. No. 12 to 2. Then we come back. We go again 4 to 6. And then it's over. Look how much more training we got now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're making freaking warriors out there.
Right.
And a lot of these guys, and my training regimen is very, very basic, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the reason that it's basic is because, you know, these new kids, you see them on Instagram all the time. They sliding through the sand with their shades on and their hat backwards. They think they're doing something. First of all, I've never played football in the sand. So I tell my guys that we're not training in the sand because we don't play football in the sand. Yeah. So we're gonna train our cross chop. We're gonna train our half spin. We're gonna train our stutter bull. We're gonna train these things over and over and over again. And that way, you know, when the divas that's training in the sand, you know, just looking good for Instagram, when we line it up, we're going to decapitate them. And that's what's been happening because they like, what are y'all doing different? We're getting more reps than y'all. That's what we're doing.
There we go.
I think what people don't get is they, like the Army, we went to this whole new PT thing, you know, this battlefield training stuff. Dude, the old school PT, push up, sit up, run, front back goes, that stuff works. You can smoke a dude in 10 minutes. I don't care how fit they are. I can smoke anyone in 10 minutes on front back goes. That old school simple stuff works. I don't know why these guys feel the need to have all this scientific method. No, the old school stuff works.
It works.
Just go do what Aaron Rodgers does and smoke that fucking shit and sit in a fucking back room for a while.
Ayahuasca. Hey, it sounds like
what you're not seeing though, John, is all
like
the cardio
working out, doing Matt Patricia workouts where he's like going people through the snow, through the sludge, and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? For no reason when you're playing sunny games the next couple of weeks.
And that's what we do. We train in the rain. We don't have we train out on the field, man. We don't. We train in the rain. We train in the snow because I want them to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because if we train in a pretty facility all the time, you're not going to be prepared for the game.
Right.
Train as you
You're not gonna be, especially if you end up in Green Bay somewhere. You're not gonna be prepared for that.
So talking about,
you know what's funny about you saying that? I forget who it was that just left Dallas, but he said that in Dallas it was almost like a show for Jerry Jones. You know what I mean? Like where all the fans can come in and tourists and stuff, and they can watch you work out, and you're kind of doing it like for the fans. And then he's the new team that he went to. I forget who this was. I'll look it up again. But he went to his new team. He's not on Dallas anymore. And he's like, this is like real training. We're actually doing football training now. Whereas in Dallas, it's just for the fans and for Jerry Jones.
It's a diva show. It's a diva show. It's a whole diva show, man. And like I said,
why they ain't winning ever again. You know what I mean? Like,
like I had the privilege. When I was training and getting ready for the league, I was in Atlanta training, and I had a chance to train down there with Aaron Donald. We were training at Chuck Smith, who's currently the outside linebacker coach for the Ravens right now. That's why you saw the Ravens pass rush get after it this year. So Chuck Smith is a known trainer down in Atlanta. And when I tell you, when I got a chance to see how Aaron Donald trained up close and personal,
yeah. How strong is he in real life? That dude's enormous.
He's a Hulk.
The crazy part is he wasn't even stronger than me.
Really?
No. He only did the bench press like 32 times, maybe 34 times, maybe somewhere up in there. I did it like 42 times.
Woo, 42.
But I was also 350 too. I was a 340, 350 nose tackle. Okay. You know, this is a guy he did this 30 sometimes and he was only like 280. 6 feet, 5'11" at the most. Like, he 5'11" for real. I ain't you know what? I ain't calling. He really 5'11".
He's 6 feet with his cleats on.
Yeah, he's 6 feet with the cleats on. But I mean, when I tell you so explosive though, man, like that you've never seen, it's almost like he was like a cheat code. Like he was like a fullback that they put at D tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. And he just had lineman strength.
Like you guys are saying like the old stuff works, like just the basic stuff works. It's kind of, wasn't it Walter Payton that got huge on push-ups and sit-ups and ran up hills? He just did basic stuff and he was strong as hell.
Yeah.
And that hill is still, it's funny, they've built up, that whole area has been built up, but the hill still exists. And that's all he did. He would run that. I mean, we've all seen the videos of him running up the hill in his ruse. That old school stuff, it builds muscle memory, builds repetition, it builds muscle.
Stamina.
And it's like, you know, in the Army, we always say train as you fight. So I love when these guys, oh, it's raining. No, if it ain't raining, we ain't training. If it's raining, we definitely train, because when you go on the battlefield, whether it be in a military conflict or football field, dude, you go Chicago, Green Bay, play outside. If it's raining, you're not stopping because it's inclement weather. No, you go. Right. And I think it's funny with some of the guys, even my son plays for, he's already got these little diva kids. Oh, the weather's not good. We can't go outside. We're just going to stay in the weight room. No, get your happy ass outside in the field, slip, fall, learn what cleats work, learn what cleats don't work, learn how to get leverage on a wet field. You need to train as you would fight, because while some teams are all dome everything, you still got to play outside eventually.
Exactly.
You can play for a minute.
Most teams train their guys to play outside for work.
I think like that term beach muscles comes into play, right? Like there's those guys that go in the gym and they get those beach muscles, and then they run up against someone that plays football actively and works out for real. You know what I mean? The football player is always going to be stronger than the beach muscle guy, like tenfold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, like y'all saying, man, the basics work. I remember when I was going to get my my welding certification. I was going to get my welding certification because, you always want to prepare for life after football. So I got certified as a stick welder. And when I went to welding school, we had a guy. He was an ex-military guy. Everybody called him Sarge. And we went in there. I was getting frustrated because the stick kept getting stuck on the damn thing, and I couldn't. I was spark the fire, and the shit would just keep getting stuck on it. So I just slammed it like, man, forget this. So he was telling me, I was like, yo, I was like, Sarge, what is the key to like passing this thing? He said, you got to stay in the booth. I was like, what do you mean you got to stay in the booth? Like, he was like, you got to keep going. You got to stay in the booth. He said, you see all these kids out here that are on their cell phones right now? They're not getting enough reps. I was like, he said every 5 minutes they out of the booth. After you finish your beads, go get another plate and continue going. He said you should have about 15 plates done after you leave here today.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And I thought about that, and I was like, wow, that's what these guys got to do in training. You got to stay in the booth. Yeah, you got to keep working on your cross chop. You got to keep working on your. You got to keep working on your stutter bull. You got to keep doing these things. What's that quote by Bruce Lee? I don't fear no man who did 10,000 kicks once. I fear the man who did one kick 10,000 times.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like the Michael Jordan thing. Like, you got to fail to succeed eventually. You know what I mean? You got to fail, and learn from your failures, and you will succeed. You will fly. You know?
But it doesn't work for the Bears, though, for some reason. They fail. They never succeed.
So
now the Bears ain't getting enough reps, man.
Mike will like this. I've actually, in my career, I had the honor of escorting 2 Medal of Honor recipients. They're not winners, they're recipients. They'll always correct you on that. And of course, me being the starstruck guy at the time, asked the most bonehead question you can ever ask a Medal of Honor recipient. Do you remember what it was like when you were going through what you did to earn it? And the reason why that's a bonehead question, you think, well, you have to be legit. Like, what were you thinking at the time, right? Would be a legit question. Every single Medal of Honor recipient, I've only met 2, but I've seen other interviews, but both of them said the same thing to me. I don't even remember that day. I don't remember what happened. And it goes to what Mike's talking about being in the booth, doing the reps. We trained so hard in the Army, like he trained so hard on the football field that everything's muscle memory. If you ask him about his best game, he doesn't remember it because it's all muscle memory. And it's the same thing with these guys who win silver stars, receive the Medal of Honor, and you ask them about the heroic deed. Dude, mine's a blank. Muscle memory I can tell you from being in combat, you don't think about the guy you're shooting. It's just all muscle memory. You just go.
Right.
And these kids don't get that. I think a lot of these kids in football, because they're chasing the scholarship instead of chasing the skill. If you chase the skill, the scholarship will happen. If you chase
the NLI deals.
Yeah.
NIL deals are all that'll come. You gotta let your game do the talking. Yeah. Just like Michael Jordan said.
When you said about forget about the plays, Aaron Rodgers knows every play. He for 20 years ago he can bring about a play. Oh, I remember this play. Oh, you can bring about a play. He remembers it.
It's muscle memory though. A lot of things. You train so hard it becomes muscle memory. He's not even thinking about it. He's just doing.
Yeah.
At that point,
kind of how you see with Steph Curry with the jump shot.
Yeah. I was just about to say that's why I like basketball so much, because when I'm shooting out there, it's got to be the same shot over and over again, or else I know I'm not going to make it. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's why you don't see a lot of elite kids. Like, you see some good kids out here, but you don't see them. You don't see a lot of them Kobe's of the world anymore. You don't see a lot of them Michael Jordans of the world anymore, because they're getting away from traditional training. They're not training.
I take it Michael's not a LeBron guy.
I mean, but do you think NIL
no, I like LeBron.
Do you think with these young kids like that, though, NIL hurts that training? Because now it's, for some of these guys, it's more about the NIL and all the money they can make on that versus the training. Like, has there been a negative impact with NIL to the way some of these guys train? Because now it's like, I want to look good for my Insta, my whatever, my ex whatever, to make that money from NIL. So is that maybe having a little bit of a negative connotation with the way these guys work now?
Yes, and which is very stupid, because at the end of the day, what they're not realizing is this: your game. How you gonna get an NIL deal without producing? You got to be productive before you can get an NIL deal. Michael Jordan said it best. Like, yes, I got the shoe deal. I got that deal. I got this deal when I was a rookie. He said, but none of that wouldn't have happened after, like, if I wouldn't have performed on the court. Like, I let my game do the talking and everything else going to come after that. Deals are going to come after that. But these kids are too busy trying to look a certain way, and they're not, like you, I don't know who said it, but they're not focusing on the skill now. They're so hyped up on, okay, how can I get an NIL? And nobody's telling them, like, you have to work out. Bro. You have to train. You have to train. Training is so important. Like, people don't understand. You write your script to the season when you're training. You write the script on how your season gonna go. Now, sometimes, you know, injuries happen. We get it. It's sports, but you write the script on how your season gonna go. Like,
man, I really hate seeing an extremely talented guy that falls out the league because it's almost like Jamarcus Russell, right? That guy had all the talent in the world, but he put in 0% work, man. Zero.
No. Yeah, he was too busy. But you know what though? I love Jamarcus's story because he actually got on a podcast and actually was saying, bro, I was not focused. We need the Jamarcuses of the world because if everybody's perfect, how the athletes gonna learn? You know what I'm saying? No, so I actually appreciate Jamarcus for coming up there because it takes some balls to come up there and really say, look, you know what? I was wrong for the way I carried my football career, but at the end of the day, we probably let's say he didn't go through those things. We probably have a mentally unhealthy, unstable Jamarcus Russell. Now this guy is he looked very mentally healthy to me when I seen him on the podcast. Because then you have guys like Delonte West.
Yeah,
you got guys like Chandler Jones. Look at Chandler Jones, man.
Yeah, I think
Delonte West is always being recorded on the street now, like homeless and shit. Like that's just a sad fucking story.
Yeah, but okay, I seen that Chase Young just got traded or just got picked up by the Cowboys or
Saints.
Saints.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I heard that he takes plays off and all this, which I mean, does the player actually take a play off, or is it just I don't know. You know,
yeah, I feel like
he did it in high school.
Yeah,
like if you take a playoff in the NFL, I feel like you're going to get hurt. So I don't think anybody truly takes a playoff, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do.
There you go, Nick.
Yeah, they do. They do. And you know, it's just like any level, man. You know, even though the NFL is at an elite level, you got guys that's not doing what they're supposed to do there. You got guys that's not doing what they're supposed to do at the college level. You got guys that's not doing what they're supposed to do at the high school and middle school level.
Yeah.
It's at every level, man. It's at every level. And then, you know, you watch some of these guys that were like super, super elite in high school. Like let's take for instance, like a Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
Jadeveon Clowney at South Carolina and in high school was real.
Yeah.
He was a dog.
He was a dog.
Yeah.
But when he got to the NFL, now he was still a physical specimen. He's still a physical specimen in the league.
Yeah.
But he ain't doing what South Carolina Jadeveon was doing.
No.
You know? And that's because I think he had a better year this year because of who did I tell you I was with the Ravens now? Chuck Smith. That's who teach a lot of defensive linemen, and he turns them into elite players. And he actually, I think, he extended Jadeveon's career in the NFL now because I ain't gonna lie, he was on his way out.
I think you touched base on something good too. Is that not only the physical strength of playing in the NFL, the mental side of it. You know what I mean? Very strong on that. Like if you got your mentals right, you could play the game right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's guys
mental health is a big situation.
Yeah.
I was just saying that like that mental, that's like such a huge part. It's like DeMar DeRozan. He's talking about like he missed a game a few years ago because he was having a panic attack, and fans for whatever reason couldn't understand. Like, well, how long does a panic attack last? You know what I mean? Get on the court. That's what you're getting paid for, bro. If you having a panic attack, how you gonna do anything? You got to have your mental stuff like right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think a lot of fans forget that that the players are human too.
Yeah, they do. They think they're
oh
robots.
my God, he ties shoe the way I do. No shit. He used the bathroom like me. No shit. Yeah, like that. It's like
God,
they
he's
just
at a
look at.
restaurant. He eats like me. Oh
Yeah,
my
he
goodness.
eats like me. Oh, he like buffets too. Oh God, I didn't know.
Or
that.
like when fans are like, hey, go
Hey,
ahead.
I gotta get out of here. My dinner's here. So thanks, Michael, for coming on, man. We'd love to have you on again anytime. We added
Yes,
you to
sir.
the show chat, so feel free to come on anytime you feel like you want to come on, man. We'd love to have you anytime.
Yeah, morning show too, actually.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Great
I love
football
to.
conversation, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey man, thank you guys for having me.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. You guys have a good
Later,
night.
Bill.
Yep.
Yeah, for those, I don't know if you posted it, but those we're on Roku now on Thursday mornings as well for the morning show. I just tied that up while you guys were initially talking. That's why I was late. So so we're growing. But you want to come on the morning show? It's Ken and I host it. But let me see. You'll see Isaac. You'll see Rob.
And Dorn will be on occasionally.
We chirping in the comments.
Nick's on every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we
bash the hell out of the Bears. You know, I mean, we try to anyway.
They wouldn't even let me on the Bears till this morning because he knew it was going to come.
If you ever feel like you want to bullshit and talk football, man, we have all this stuff going on all the time.
Man, definitely, man. I'm a down to earth guy. You know what I'm saying? So man, I love to kick it with the Packer fans, and you're the only Bears fan I'll kick it with. All right. I give my uncle a hard time. He a diehard Bears fan. He a Walter
I told my son.
fan.
If he makes it to the league, I don't care where he goes, but if he goes to the Packers, I'll love him. I'll love him just the same, except for 2 weeks out of the year.
No, you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do like Travis Kelce's mom. You're gonna have to get the like merge jersey. There you go. Yeah.
Could you imagine turning on your TV in the morning and like your son's playing for Green Bay, and all of a sudden you're like, "Go Bears!" And you're like, "Oh, Green Bay gets stomped today."
I love to do this, man. Like, man, anytime, man. Like I said, I want to connect more with the fans and just make great friends in the process as well. So, man, just let me know, man. I definitely answer that. Can all of y'all friend request me on Facebook?
Yeah, you're friends with a lot of us already. I mean, I told these guys. Some of these guys didn't know we were all friends with you, and we're like, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you saw me a Bears fan. You're like, well, who's this guy? But now you know who I am.
Now you know Ken the Bear fan. But yeah, you're in our Packer group, and we'll. I'm sure all of us, if they're not friends with you, we'll send you a request. So
yeah, I'll send you one right after we get off of here, and I'll add you to the morning show chat too. That way, if you ever feel like coming on during the morning show, you're more than welcome. We do it every weekday at 10 a.m. Central.
Yeah,
okay,
Monday
cool.
through Friday,
Cool,
and on Monday and Thursday now we're on Roku because as of tonight we added Thursday, and the other 3 days we're just on the normal Facebook, YouTube platforms.
All right, man. Let's do it, man. It was a pleasure, man.
Oh yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man. You was a great guest. Thank you, man, so much.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, till next time, man. See you guys.
Yep, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming on.
Go, baby.
All right, bro. Go Pack, go.
Yeah.
See you, Michael.
Sir.
Yes.
All right, and thank you everybody who was watching.
The Bears suck.
Bears still suck.
Hey, wait, can I, Mike, can I play? Let me do one thing. I got something for Mike. Mike, I'll play this. This is the last time I'll probably ever play it. I'll do it just for you.
All right, cool.
A double doink is when Brett Favre is sacked and intercepted on the same play. A double doink.
Thank you, Mary Pat.
Yeah, I think you want to talk about double doinks.
I've been telling Ken I'm going to delete that for weeks, but I had to do it. So.
Man, it's a pleasure, man.
All I got to say is Cody Parkey.
Next time, all right?
Have a good one, brother.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
And everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody that was on Frozen Tundra Network. Go Pack Go. And occasionally we got some Bears fans on here too. You're always welcome, Ken. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to run our intro and we'll get out of here. All right. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Go Pack Go, baby.
Go Pack Go. Go Lions.
Pressure to inside backers come down the sideline. Romeo Dobbs a touchdown.
Hang on. Love to Watson to a one-score game.
Hey, this is Ahman Green, the Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing. Bill, the Packer fan, and Packer owner, Nick, They run a website for Packer news and updates, and I know Packer news hasn't been so great lately because we got some players that are not Packers anymore that you loved at one time, but you might hate a little bit right now. 2 great running backs. We have a competent offensive line.
He's saying that he felt in November and December that they didn't want him back.
Get a little safety in that position. Either we go.
There's no reason to believe we can't return, but.
And they already came out. There's a couple guys that came out and said that Rodgers is telling what
solution of it, and don't let them go for anything under than 1.
And you know what, Packer fans? The Bears still suck. So go Pack Go, and good luck to Bill and Nick, their website, and their Packer news. Talk to you later.
It's a lot easier to come in and skip doing mop-up duty, but he threw the ball he kind of looked like Aaron Rodgers the way he was throwing the ball sidearm and just flicking the ribs and the ball was just jumping out of his hand. Agreed.
Hey everybody, this is Gerhard de Beer, former Green Bay Packer offensive lineman, and you're watching Frozen Tundra Network.